This is a $65 set of arrows. This is a $200 set of arrows before components. Today I'm gonna line them up side by side and see how they compare and shoot, get you some real world results. Let's go. If you're anything like me, you're probably thinking there's no way the $65 arrows are gonna fly as good as the expensive ones, right? Well, here's the thing, I don't know. Don't know till you try it, don't knock it till you try it. And I took every precaution I could when building the $65 arrows. In fact, let's cut to that. My mission: test out the cheapest hunting arrows Podium Archer sells. The Gold Tip Warrior. 9.3 grains per inch in a 300 spine arrow. Suspiciously like the Gold Tip Hunter Pro, which costs 3 times as much. I started with a good, clean, bare shaft and built them to be as accurate as possible. Spun them on an arrow shaft spinner to see if there was significant wobble on one side or the other. Cut them down to size. Squared both sides, knock end and tip end, and did the little silver Sharpie trick just to make sure it was fully squared. Hot melt glued in the stock insert that came with them. Fletched on 3 Super Saber minis with the AAE max helical jig to the left. And finally knock-tuned them, which means I shot every shaft through paper with fletchings on, and if there was an inconsistent tear, rotated the nock 120 degrees. 2 out of 10 needed the nock turned. Other than that, these things are flying true. Let's take them to the range and see what we can do. Here's our target of choice we're gonna go head-to-head on today. First arrow out of the gate, RIP TKO 250 spine. Has the Podium Archer 30 grain titanium inserts up front and 100 grain tip on that. Total arrow weight's 400 grains, and I'll have all the stats right down below. Okay, let's jump right into it. Of course the wind kicked up right as I started doing this, but that's real life. That's how real life goes. Sometimes you have to shoot in the wind. And I've gotten a lot of practice at shooting in the wind this spring. It's been windy here. The reason these have come to be my mainstay arrows is for a couple of reasons. They have a really low GPI, which stands for grains per inch, which means I can keep them light if I want to, or if I want to add weight to them, it adds to the FOC. They have a slick coating on the outside, which I've always thought was good for a 3D. And even if it was zipping through something, it might go through with a little less friction. And they've been durable. I beat the heck out of them and they hold up. That's why these have been a mainstay in my quiver. They're a popular arrow choice for quite a few people, and I can see why, for sure. Oh, that felt good. I'm shooting pretty good. I'm just getting a little bit of right to left. And when I say pretty good, I mean pretty good for me. One cool thing about archery is it's just you versus you, really. Like, you can have targets, you can have people, but ultimately it's what you can do in one shot at a time. And I like that. I appreciate that about archery. It definitely has some parallels to golf for me. It's different, but it has some similarities. Oh, I'm just a smidge left. What do you think of the mustache? As this video launches, it's like the middle of July. Hopefully you have your setup ready. You're getting arrows downrange most days, getting everything tuned, getting your broadheads on soon. It'll be here before you know it. It's coming up quick. Oh, we got 2 more arrows and then we'll go see what kind of score I shot with the first group. Well, that felt good. You want to come give your bold hypothesis? Don't be peeking at my group down there either, all right?
I can't tell from here. They all look like shadows, dude. How would I know the difference?
MFJJ in the house on his, what do you call this? Electric dirt bike. He has like 6 of them or something like that.
I have 2. Don't be so dramatic.
Plus the Trail 90, which is my favorite, or Trail 120.
It's a 110.
110,
It's the
yeah.
modern version.
That's my favorite.
It's still like 30 years old or something.
MFJJ kind of briefed me on how we can build arrows to the 9s to make them as accurate as possible. We did that in the podcast, which I'll have linked down below, but I want to know what your hypothesize for us.
What you've built versus that, I
Yeah.
bet you see almost 0 difference. I mean, you're shooting field points.
Yeah,
right?
shooting field points.
No, I don't think it'll shoot any different. I mean, unless you have like an immense amount of wind or something like that, or you're testing penetration, they'll shoot the same.
We're also going to do a durability test. Make sure you stay around till the end of the video for that.
That one might not be as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're both kind of probably
That's
good,
what I'm actually most excited for.
And that's what I'm working on right now, so let me get back to it.
All right, we'll see back. We'll be back for the durability test in a minute. One more arrow, we'll go score them up. Oh, that felt good. Let's go see what we got. 4 9s, 36, 3 8s makes 60, 67, 73, 78. I'll double check that, but I think it's 78. These are the Gold Tip Warriors. $65 a dozen, 9.3 GPI, which I thought was pretty sweet. 246 diameter, so they're wider than my TKOs. And traditionally, a wider arrow will get moved in the wind a little bit more, but we're just gonna see how they fly. Let's go. I took a few arrows just to double check my marks. It seems like I've only lost like 1 yard. Yeah, 1 yard between going from 400 to 420 grains right now from 50. It is hot out today. We're getting to that portion of like a Washington summer where most days are sunny, but some days get hot. Best to shoot in the morning or the afternoon or whatever. Morning or the evening. At just the eyes glance, I don't know if I got lucky with this batch of 12, but they all spin tested pretty well. Like I didn't have any serious wobble on one end or the other. Maybe just a micro wobble on one end and just cut that off. And yeah, they spun pretty well. It's kind of interesting right now because I don't feel like I'm necessarily shooting better. Like my float might even feel a little worse. And my arrows are kind of stacked in the middle. Oh. I do think these knocks are actually kind of nice, especially for a budget arrow. Kind of finding a nice little rhythm on these last couple shots. 2 more. I should have let that one down. 2 shots in this group I actually should have let down. They just kind of felt a little squirrely. Final, let's go. I'd like to take those last couple back, but what do? Got some really good ones in there. I'm kind of excited to see what the score is. Let's check it out. So that's 3 in the middle, 30, 39, 39, 47, 55, 62, 69, 69 plus 12 is 81. A little construction destruction test. Gold Tip Warrior, RIP TKO with Josh's fancy titanium half outs on the front. We're gonna see how they do versus steel right now. Let's do the RIP TKO first.
Let's do the baller budget, also known as no budget.
Well, I'm shooting this. Why would a person spend $400 on arrows versus less than 100?
The place where you'll really see high quality differences in arrows is traditionally when you start to shoot fixed blade broadheads, honestly. Mechanicals, you won't see it as much, and you can still get really good results. It's just at distance you will really see a noticeable difference when you pay for quality.
Okay.
One down, one to go.
Oh, I can't shoot arrow number 1. I'm too
Can't
fond
shoot
of that.
old. Can't shoot Old Faithful.
I'm too fond of that arrow. Let's go arrow number 9. Identity brand new elk.
Yeah. It's intended to get destroyed. That's what it's for.
Also, before I destroy this arrow, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to destroy 2 arrows. Built a dozen of these freshies just for this video today. If you want to support what we do, check out puttymarcher.com. Use discount code TIMC. It'll save you some money on the stuff, and it just helps support all the shenanigans we do out here. So, final arrow, destruction test. Let's go. Let's go inspect what we suspect. 20 grain difference in the arrow. That's the main difference. Warrior's 20 grains heavier. That's our difference in carnage. We also blew out a knock on the gold tip.
Which has probably got to do with the movement and vibration when it hits something hard.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount that mushroomed.
If you had a collar on that, that probably wouldn't have broke.
Pretty interesting. This definitely protected the front of the arrow. Oh, and potentially this arrow is just a little more durable.
The other one's like grenaded way back down.
Definitely not the field point.
No, the field point's dicked.
Yeah.
No way around that.
Yep. Here's the thing. No matter where you're at in your archery journey, no matter where you sit today, whether it's something you want to learn about, just get started first. There's this thing that happens that's called paralysis by analysis. It prevents a lot of people from getting started. They think they need the best hunting gear, the best archery gear, the best camera gear, the best filming gear to make YouTube video. None of that stuff matters as much as your experience. First and foremost, whatever it is you are doing, please, from a career, lifelong coach, just get started. Get picky later. And when you start getting picky, recognize that there's a point of diminishing returns. The difference between a $1,000 rifle and a $10,000 rifle isn't $9,000. It's a very small amount that people are willing to spend that extra money for because it takes a lot to get a little. Fun little YouTube video for me to make. Get out, shoot your bow, subscribe to the channel. I'm busting up arrows for you, and we will catch you back for the next one. Josh kind of alluded that broadheads are the big deal, so let me know if you want to see a part 2 with some broadheads, because I'm kind of predicting that we're not going to see as much of a difference as we might think. Let me know what you think. I'm off. We'll catch you back for the next one.